I pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I will now call this April the 13th, 6 o'clock meeting to order. Okay, can I have a motion to please have the minutes? Roll call. Oh, I'm sorry. Ms. Wood, please do roll call.
Ms. Stella Walls.
Yes.
Dr. Rice.
Yes.
Ms. Fountain.
Yes.
Ms. Sanders.
Yes.
Ms. Elder.
Here.
Okay, then we have a full house this evening. I need approval for the April 13th meeting agenda. Can I have a motion, please?
Madam President, I'm motion for the approval for March 9th. No, which one?
Today's agenda.
I'm sorry, today's agenda, April 13th, meeting approval.
Yes, second.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved to second, but we accept the agenda for today. Are there any questions?
Yeah, I have just one. When the agenda items, when was this put onto board docs?
I saw it on Wednesday,
You saw it Wednesday?
but I had to have it to come meet with Faith.
Was it, Ms. Wood, did everyone get it Wednesday?
I don't put that in board docs.
So
Trish puts it in board docs.
who does?
Trish White.
Trish White?
Yeah, once it goes in, it's available for everyone.
Okay,
Once it goes in, so that was, I think, Wednesday, it should have been available.
okay.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't get in. I was just wondering.
Okay.
So, okay, you're saying Wednesday?
Did anyone else have a problem getting into the board docs? I mean, getting into the agenda?
I did. But that maybe it's just me though, my computer at home, but I did.
And what day did you try to do?
I just tried it on Saturday. So
Yeah, no, I know for sure.
that's why I'm looking it over, you know.
But no one else? Sure.
I didn't see it. I didn't look either.
Okay. Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, we move that we accept the agenda for today.
Online voting is open.
You know what? I haven't got it up. This would, my answer is yes.
It's the end of 13. But
That's today.
for today.
Mhm.
I thought we were doing that. I don't even know, so. I don't even know what's going on. Yeah.
Online voting is closed, motion passes.
Thank you very much. Next on the agenda, the approval for the March 9th regular meeting minutes. Can I have a motion that we pass this agenda? Can I have a motion?
Madam President, I motion to approve March 9th, 2026 regular meeting minutes.
There a second?
I'll second.
We move to second. Discussion? No discussion?
Online voting is open. Ms. Eldermeyer,
Yes. Sorry,
are you saying yes to me or to the vote?
I just voted, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay,
I was reading something.
okay. All votes are in, motion passes.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is the approval of the March 23rd special meeting. Can I have a motion that we pass this agenda for the March 23rd special meeting?
Madam President, I motion that we pass the agenda for the March 23rd minutes.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Now, we'll wait for the vote.
Online voting is open. All votes are in, motion passes.
Thank you very much. Next on the agenda, we're going to have a discussion.
Public
Come
comment.
with us. What you're saying is anything. Is there a public comment?
I do not have anything that's been submitted for public comment.
If there is no public comment, the next one will go into discussion.
She might not know it.
Okay, and we're going into discussion. First on the agenda for discussion is our treasurer.
Yeah, treasurer's up there. Yeah.
In our, previous discussion, I talked to the board about the fraud cases. And those fraud cases were probably, some of them over a year old, and the board was concerned that, about the amount of time that was taking to get that done. And I told them that I felt that the time was adequate for the bank,
Yes,
to
I can't hear you so good. down
I'm
here.
sorry, let's forget.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's just not projected.
Let me speak up a little louder, is that
I
better?
got you, yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
I do have a louder voice.
Yes, ma'am, there we go.
So, there were some concerns, from the board regarding the open fraud cases, thank you, that were, with Key Bank. I had discussed those, with the board. I do want to advise the board, and I will just read this to you that I received from, Key Bank regarding, fraud affidavits that I submitted. I spoke with our fraud team and was informed that the claim and funds were not recoverable given the length of time. They state that the general guidelines is to report any fraud transaction within 30 days of the statement date listing the first transaction. If there are any additional fraud/post attempts to post to the account, please contact the fraud hotline, which I did do. And I supplied them with the information that I did submit on time to them. They then responded, given the long-standing relationship between East Cleveland City School District and Key Bank, our line of business has approved a one-time credit to your account for the following 3 denied fraudulent items. The first one was for $992.09. The second one was $500. The third one was for $500 for a total of $1,992.09. The credit will be applied back to the account ending in our operating account. I will follow up once the request has been completed and the credit has been applied. And this credit has been applied, the $1,992.09. So for those 3 fraud cases, we did recover those funds and those funds are back in our account. As the board is aware also, I did file a police report with the East Cleveland Police Department also regarding those 3 fraud cases. The police department stated that they needed for me to keep them apprised of what the bank was going to do about those fraud cases. So I will advise them that the money has been recovered, and I'm certain from their perspective, the East Cleveland Police Department will close that case.
Okay.
Are there any questions?
Good job.
I have a question. Okay, those are individuals that fraudulently took money from, East Cleveland, key bank account?
As I stated before, and I showed these to the board,
Uh-huh,
They
you may
were
have,
checks.
I've forgotten. So
fine,
I just,
I'm going to show them again.
Mhm.
There were checks that were written. These were checks that we had issued to another vendor. Someone got a hold of these checks, changed the name of the vendors and the date, put their name or some name that they were able to, have identification from, and they were able to cash them at Key Bank. So these were the 3 checks, that I did show to the board at that time. Those are the 3 checks. I prefer not to say any names out
of
loud.
course not. No.
Any other questions?
No additional questions
Okay, thank
on
you.
that at this time.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Witt. The next discussion that I have, when I worked here as an employee, I don't know if they still do it or not, but I would have to fill out, if I was going on a leave of absence, I had to fill out an application. And the application said exactly, please attach this original to your receipts. Registration receipt, bus, plane ticket voucher, hotel, motel, meal receipts, complete professional meeting summary, and then you fill out all this about your name, mileage, all that. On the back, I had to fill in what I was going to learn or the reason that I was picked to go on it. I don't know if the other employees are doing this, but I would like to start this up again, if not for anyone, the board for sure. Because we're always asking about where is our money going, but we're also using that money. So we need to be accountable for it also. As I spoke about 2 months ago, I said that each time someone goes on a trip, I would like for them to tell us something that they learned on that particular conference that they attended. And I think our first one was you, Mary, Ms. Sanders.
Oh, wow, it's been a while now since that class, but the class was well needed. I learned what to expect from the treasurer when the treasurer gives reports. There's some different funding, agencies, different things that I wanted to go over with Ms. Witt to get a better understanding of how it worked. I learned how to go on the OSBA and pull up the reports to keep up with what's going on with our district as far as where we are, where we stand with fundings and different things like that. But it was well worth it. It gave me a good enlightenment on financing.
Ms. Elmeyer, I understand you
Sure, the
also
last
went
one,
on
I
that.
just went on one, for AI Summit.
Mhm.
I just did the AI Summit, which was very well, received. We talked about, AI in schools and how we need to, as a district, come up with a policy and a plan moving forward with using AI, within our district, with our students, using it for classwork and for homework and for our teachers to be able to detect, when AI is being used for homework, as far as doing, the breakdown of, a summary of an essay or math homework. It also was enlightening to know, how AI can also disrupt the classrooms when you have students using it in a, demeaning manner towards other pupils. So that was definitely something I would like to have a discussion about amongst the board, at a later date.
Okay, that's good. Ms. Fountain.
Mine's gonna be kinda long, y'all ready?
Come on.
Mine's gonna be kinda long, so pay attention. Okay, I'm gonna start first. So I went to the legislative committee meeting in Columbus. I'm gonna get through some of the bills. I'm not gonna read the whole thing because then you'll get lost. So I'm gonna start off with House Bill 473, which prohibits public employers from paying employee retirement contributions to Ohio Public Retirement System through certain pickup methods. So there were certain things under this bill. So currently, 3 pickup methods are salary reduction, employer paid contribution not included in compensation, and employer paid contribution included in compensation. So House Bill 473 would eliminate the 2 employer paid pickup options, leaving salary reduction as the only permissible method for contracts entered after the effective date of the legislation. So I'm gonna skip to the ask. So the ask is oppose House Bill 473, retirement contribution, pickup plans, help local employers remain competitive in attracting and retaining employees, and eliminating them would increase costs for school districts and public employers. That's House Bill 473, and it hasn't passed yet. Okay. Capital budget and capital reappropriations. This is capital reappropriations, SB 371, House Bill 730. So on this one,
And keep in mind, I just want you guys to briefly tell us what you know.
I understand,
that'll
but I
benefit
wanna
us. 'Cause
really.
I don't understand when you're going to like House Bill 44 and.
Okay,
and
so
all that.
let me just tell the ask
Yours,
on this
yeah.
one. So this is what we're asking. So it's real political there. So this is the ask from our side.
Okay.
So the ask is support passage so previously approved projects can continue. Capital budget maintains strong funding for the OFCC school facilities program so that districts across Ohio can continue modernizing and maintaining safe learning environments for students. So pretty much this bill was about the money. They did not want to answer questions. And they kind of swept it under the rug. Okay? So I'll skip this bill. Let's see. I'll skip this one.
Give us one more.
'Cause
Let me
let me give y'all
night
this one.
ahead.
Let me give you this one.
Okay.
Mike DeWine did come. We were able to ask questions. I didn't get picked, but the lady next to me also didn't get picked. But somebody at my table from Akron did get picked, and 3 other people that asked questions all was about the financials, about us losing finances, and he did not answer the questions.
Oh.
They skipped over again the funding for schools and us losing money. So it was a lot of people were upset, and it just didn't, for everybody there, it didn't end well, I can say that. So do I have any answers about our getting funding? No, I do not, because the questions were not answered.
Okay, but you're on legislation, so you'll come back to us again.
So wait a minute. I don't want y'all to cut me off. I know we in a board meeting, but we shouldn't rush certain things that's real
Some
important.
things I do have to, because we got a long night.
I understand that, but the other one that I do want to mention is about the capital reappropriations. They do not know what the size of the bill will be due for the property taxes. So a lot of these are still not passed, and they're still going through. Some of them have passed Congress, but they're not. A lot of the stuff is still in limbo. There was one other thing that I wanted to mention to you guys, that they are going to be reaching out to you about the reading. He spoke about reading. That's what he spoke about. He didn't talk about the funds. But they're going to be reaching out to you for about a math program, and it's free. And they're also wanting to know if they are able to bring in the health department. They want to bring in free eye exams and glasses for the students. So some of the students that can't read, they can't read because they can't see the board. So they want to bring the vehicle here in the parking lot
and let the kids come out and get an eye exam for free, and they get free glasses.
You know, we have that coming. We've already approved that.
All
And
right,
dental. Mhm.
and dental, yes.
Yeah, so we got on both.
So it'll be for next fall. Y'all signed up for next fall?
I don't know when they're signing, but I know yeah, more than likely.
The mobile
school gonna
van?
end next month.
So yeah, it'll be for fall. Okay.
Yeah. You might
Okay,
have
I'll
been
end
at
there
that
because I got
seminar.
like 5 more. Y'all wanna hear them? Y'all wanna hear 'em?
Not tonight.
Well, that's not right. I don't win here to get all this
No, that's
information.
why we give you this paper, and I'm
I
gonna
filled
give it
it
to
out.
everybody tonight.
I filled it
Oh,
out.
who did you turn it into?
Did you get it or I turned it into?
It's turned into us, but a copy should be kept for distribution. You should keep a
Yeah.
copy and distribute it to the board for whatever information you would want the board to know.
Right.
Because you turn it into us for the purposes of reimbursement.
Right. I still have it. I can read from that too if y'all want me to.
No, just give it to us, and then if we have questions, we can come back to you.
So there's a
and
couple
ask.
more bills that I think we do need to discuss, but we can move on.
Okay. And the final? Waiting for you, Dr. Rice.
Okay, I went to Youngstown, Ohio to Shopping Vocational High School for the Northeast OSBA region meeting. I'm also on the executive board of OSBA for our Northeast region. And basically, they were showing off Shopping Vocational School and all the programs that they have there. And just reporting on how things are going in the Northeast District. So far, things are going okay. There's another meeting in May. There's one in May and one in June. So I'm hoping to be able to make both meetings, and I'll keep you informed. But so far, the Northeast region is doing well. They just put on one additional executive board member as well, so we had an opportunity to meet her. Oh, and the OSBA National, Cleveland, Mrs. Cleveland is her last name. She came to Shopping, and we had a chance to meet her and to hear what some of her goals and aspirations for the whole entire state, and the support that she is able to give to various districts. All in all, it was a great meeting. It was very well attended. And awards were given out for individuals who have served on the school board. There are some people that have been on the school board, Lord have mercy, for like 50 years. And 40, seriously, 50, 40, 30, 25. And so they were giving out awards for that as well. And it was good to kind of see some of the people and some of the reasons why they are continue to work with schools and school boards. That completes my report, Madam President.
Thank you very much.
You are more than welcome.
I attended two, Pebble and Wagner's. They had two little seminars for me. The first one really had nothing to do with this particular board. They actually needed somebody that was from buildings. Perhaps that would have answered more. The second one, very much interested in because I was a social worker here in the school system. And they did talk about things that the IEPs and how the students can get on the IEPs, or what we expect when they get on there, how much extra help we're going to give them, how we use outside organizations to come in to assist our children. But that one I enjoyed very much. But again, it didn't have a lot to do with the board. So that's when I started thinking that I want to look more into what some of these are about. Because some of these, because it says Pebble and Wagner, because it says, invite the superintendent, it's necessarily not meant for us. So I want to look at that in the future. Otherwise, thank you very much, ladies, for your reports. I do appreciate it. And moving on to the next thing in our discussion. This is Conrad again. Okay, board committee norms and expectations. Let me start first off with our norms. We were given norms in January, a page of norms. that we wanted to go by with this particular board. Again, I brought it up in February. I got nothing to tell us what we were gonna do for our norms. I'm gonna show you again what that particular paper looks like. Because by the time we do our next study, this is what the form looked like. And I know everybody got one. We got one when we did the meeting with Deborah Keys. I need you to look at this, and I need you to put what you want to change, or if you think it's okay, and I would like this back by our next work study, so that we can get this put into the computer, get it put out there on the board, and we were talking about having it laminated, so that each one of us have it. So if you see anything that you want to change, or correct, or you want to add to it, please, make sure you have this by our next work study. And I think that's what, April 27th. Okay, we all got a copy of the East Cleveland City School Board Committee meetings. This tells when we have our meetings and with what company we have our meetings with. Okay, I have a problem that on our last welfare meeting, we had both administrators, Ms. Elder and we had Ms. Witt come, and they tell me that you came and you left. And we had 8 different policies that needed to be reviewed.
Yes.
Why?
Because there was not another board member on there with me. And you have been expressed concerns about asking questions of Ms. Witt. So therefore, I felt it was a setup. So therefore, I said, no, I will wait until there are 2 board members.
So what is your intention? Because we're not gonna have 2 board members.
Well then, that's my intention. I have to have another board member in order for me to be there.
Okay, our ruling does not say that there needs to be a code. It says that there needs to be a chairman only. Ms. Fountain came on this board brand new. She didn't know a thing about finance. She went through that whole year by herself in finance.
There was 2 of us on there.
He was assigned, but he didn't come.
He didn't come.
Right. You were the one who was there. And that is what I'm saying. It does not have to be 2 members present.
I know it doesn't
You're
have
not
to be.
making a decision
Mhm,
at these committee meetings.
mhm.
You're reviewing
Right.
what is being told, what is being taught, what's
Mhm.
being said, and you're bringing it back to us.
Mhm.
So as I said, you're going to be the only member on that team. You developed that team.
Mhm.
You and Dr. Keenan
Mhm.
were the ones who wanted this welfare.
No, it was there when I came.
Well, at any rate,
Mhm.
you agreed to it. You were president,
Mhm.
you are a vice president.
Yes.
So I do not see why.
I'm
would
sorry
not
that you
follow
don't
through.
see, but I felt as though it was a setup and I just wasn't sure. And I was not gonna be there and be part of that, by no means whatsoever. There should be, in order of 2 board members there to discuss, and that's some pretty important items that come through on that particular committee.
Well, like I said,
Mm-hmm,
it was given to you in January.
mm-hmm,
In January, at that time, you had the opportunity to say, I think I'm getting a setup.
mm-hmm.
You didn't. You went through January.
There
you
was
went
someone
through
else.
February.
There was someone else assigned on there with me at that time. There was a chair, me, and a co-chair.
What are your plans, Ms. Dr. Rice, for the future? I need a chairman over the committee.
As long as someone else is here with me, I have no problem.
Well,
None whatsoever.
I'm not
And look
signing
forward to
in.
it. Okay. Well then,
I'll volunteer to go on the committee.
very good. So now we have someone else on the
Okay.
committee.
I will volunteer to take that committee to, which committee is that? That is, which one is it? Public relations?
Public relations.
Okay, I will volunteer myself to be on
Thank
public
you.
relations committee with Dr. Rice.
I appreciate that, yeah.
Guess who was second on my list?
Good, I hope it was me.
It is you.
Yay.
Okay.
So, go ahead.
You haven't been to any of our meetings.
So, I
as
was just at
chairperson.
our meeting, the last meeting, but I was having an issue.
Chairman?
Excuse me?
I'm talking about chairman
Yes,
of the,
so our last meeting for buildings and grounds,
yes.
I'm unable to get into the Zoom, so I just got a new Zoom sent to me today. But I was unable with the link in the Zoom meeting code to get into that Zoom.
Okay, please call me when you have things like that.
Yes, Madam President.
I will make sure you get a handbook, one of those things.
Yes,
that
Madam
we get one
President,
from the
I will
school.
make sure I
I'd
reach out to
appreciate
you immediately.
Also, Dr. Rice, you should
Yes.
have called me also to say that you weren't going to be there.
I didn't know that there would not be a second person there until I was there at the meeting.
Even
As
if
a
you
ma-
left, you still should have let me know.
Oh, okay, next time I'll make sure that I do that. Anytime that I am not able, or for whatever reason, to, work with that committee, for whatever reason, I will make sure that I notify you beyond a shadow of a doubt.
That would be appreciated.
All right?
Okay, I think that is about it that I had for my discussions. And you know, I'm sorry, Ms. Eldermeyer.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, Mr. Bunkley
Yes,
is
ma'am.
in charge
Yes,
of your particular committee. And if you have any problem, call me or call him. They're usually
Well, I didn't have his
available.
number, but now I know to call somebody because I
If you
couldn't
call the
get in.
school and ask for him by name,
I mean,
They'll
but it's
find
4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. I mean, you're right. I do apologize and I take note of that for next board
We'll
meeting.
make sure you got it, so.
There
Thank
you
you so
go.
very much, sir. Yes.
okay, so now, and you haven't changed your mind, right, Ms. Fowler? I just want to
No.
make sure.
It's a conflict of interest, remember? If I'm
It
removed
was.
from the finance, then I can't be on welfare, because it's the same person, correct?
No. You can be on the same program, yeah. We do this by Zoom. We're not face to face. This is
Well,
done
I
by
was
Zoom.
removed, so I'm gonna just stay removed, because that's too
Okay.
confusing, that's a lot.
Okay. Moving right on, we're gonna go to our reports. And the first thing I have on my report here, buildings and grounds. You wanna start off, Ms. Eldermeyer?
Mm-mm.
Eldermeyer, no, read it. And explanation can come from Dr. Pettigrew.
This motion is to approve the contract for emergency power system at Caledonia Elementary School. This is, the resolution to approve. On March the 10th, the Board of Education approved the facility master plan and adopted scenario number 5, phase 4 for school consolidation and renovations.
And I just want to say one thing before you begin. Every one of these that we have has to do with scenario 5. You know, everybody wants to know what's going on. What are we gonna do with these schools? What's gonna happen to the kid? Every single one of yours has to do with the scenario 5.
Yay!
Yeah, so we definitely want to hear what's happening there. Okay, Dr. Pettigrew,
Yes.
you want to explain to us what she just read?
This is part of scenario 5. And this is one of the repairs that Dennis Bunkley came last board meeting.
And he explained.
And he talked about these 4 items and they will come to the board meeting. This is the board meeting. Where these are issues from scenario 5 that was approved by the board, now over a year ago.
Ms. Fountain, you were at your, in service when he did, when he came and he reported all of this.
But we shared it with, Ms. Fountain, we were able to share some of that information with you, what, Mr. Bunkley did his presentation.
Yes. I have a question.
Oh, I haven't asked for a vote or discussion. Okay, you have that.
Just so that I am clear,
Mhm.
are we on A under building and grounds for
Yes.
Caledonia? Thank you.
Yes.
So we need a motion.
Mhm. Yeah, I was trying to get the computer to get back to that. Okay, can I have a motion that we, well, no, you actually are supposed to say it.
Yes, you read the motion.
I read it already.
But we need a second, please.
Can we have a second?
I second.
It's been moved to second. Discussion. Now, Ms. Fountain.
So if under scenario 5, this is stated that it's coming out the general fund for $61,736.31. I want to really know by us closing the schools, is that even feasible at this time or what's going on?
The answer is yes. On March 10th, 2025, we walked through this with the board. We gave 5 scenarios, and the board approved not only the scenarios, but the amount of money needed to make the necessary repairs. So this was known a year ago that these were the things that we needed to do. And particularly with us now using Caledonia as grades 1 through 4, we need to ensure that the electrical power system is adequate. For example, when we just had storms not too long ago in East Cleveland and power went out for a few days in some of our spots, our electrical power system at Caledonia half worked. It is at the end of its life. And when we had the folks come through to look at all of our buildings, this was one of the areas that we needed to upgrade so that when the power goes out, we don't have to close school. We can still have the students, we can still perform what we need to do without causing the kids any kind of disruption. So that's essentially what this is. And as you look at each one of these, whether it's this, whether it's the Caledonia parking lot that needs to be repaved, whether it's the sidewalk and the stairs at Kirk, because we're pushing more students into Kirk. So we need to make sure all of those things are adequate, those walk spaces where students are, as well as even in this building, there's a hot water system that the hot water tank and all those peripherals need to be upgraded as well. They're at end of life. What in this district, what you're gonna hear me say a lot of is that things are at end of life. When they built these buildings in the early 2000s, those things were only supposed to last 15 years, 20 years. We're there, or past there. So some of these things that you see are because it's end of life. And if someone has to come fix it, they're going to have to come replace the whole system, because many times these things can't be, once they go out of a warranty or out of service, there's no one to come fix the old stuff. So then you have to go upgrade to a new system to give you a longer answer for just this one. So I hope, is that helpful?
May I add one other thing to that? All of the funds under scenario 5 are from general fund.
Yes.
The board was aware of that when they voted scenario 5. This is all general fund. We looked at the budget at that time. We looked at how much it was going to cost, and the board approved these amounts from general
Yes.
fund. Not the individual vendors, but the total amount for scenario 5. It is all general fund.
And those are the amounts we try to make sure we stay under what the board had already set when we approved scenario 5.
And you got 3 estimates.
We have, well, actually, in this one, if you read there in the middle, it says we're part of a consortium, a purchasing organization. So when you have a consortium, you don't have to go through the RFP process. And many times we're using a consortium process in order to secure these companies.
And what is a consortium project?
A consortium, do you want?
Ohio Schools Council.
Ohio
Ohio
Schools
Schools
Council,
Council is that organization that vets all of the vendors
Yep.
first. And then they determine that who's going to give the district the best quality and the best price for whatever those things are that are involved within that consortium. It could be construction, it could be food service,
Yes.
it could be HVAC, it could be anything. It happens within the consortium. What a school district then does is we join Ohio Schools Council because the state recognizes Ohio Schools Council as one of those organizations that has vetted those vendors already, so that it stops us from having to do, as he stated, going out for 3 proposals, because it's already been vetted and cleared through Ohio School
And it looks
Council.
like they have a 4.9% star, and they're out of Brecksville, Ohio.
Mhm.
So it looks like it's a pretty good vendor, and I would suggest on here, on our, that, it says G&B Electric Services, and
That's a
then where it
typo.
says,
Yeah,
then where it
it's a
says
typo.
whereas, the name is B&G, so they might wanna,
there's a typo there. that needs
yeah,
to be
switch
addressed.
that.
And not only is this, when we talk about consortiums, it's not only the ease of finding vendors that we can work with, but there's also, because we're in the consortium, the vendors have confidence that they can actually work with us. Because the reason we use consortiums is you go out there and say, I want 3 companies to come do this, and only 1 company actually wants to do business with us. So we use consortiums because that gives both sides comfortability with the projects.
Any other discussion?
You see the typo there, Ms. Wade?
Yes, there's several.
I have no idea.
B and G, G and B, those are interchangeable, so we need to just
Whereas.
get the clear.
I'm sorry, where are you looking at that, please?
The fourth
The
line
the
down,
name of the
whereas,
company is G&D, is that
is
it?
G&B.
Or
It's
B.
G&B.
It's G and D.
Then there's the,
B and G.
So are we saying that
What's the company name?
GMB.
Electric Company.
Yeah, it's just clean the typos in this
That's all, it's
resolution.
just the letters mixed around.
And I just have one quick question for you. I know it's $61,000 plus dollars. So this was, so it didn't have to be bidded out because those companies were vetted by the Ohio Consortium.
Mhm.
And this 61 was the same amount that was,
Less. It was less than what the board approved.
this amount is less than what
It's
the
coming
board
in less,
approved?
yes.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's what, so therefore the amount did change.
The amount is less than what
Yeah.
we originally, cause see, what happened is we had, I think that was MGT did the,
There were estimates.
There were estimates.
They were estimates, they
Right.
were not exact.
and pretty much most of them are coming in lower than the estimate, which is good for us.
Great.
Cause we're going in under what we pre-approved.
Okay, so that's what I was trying to say.
Mhm.
So under A, it's correct the name?
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
I will let her know.
it's a good discussion.
Any other? If not, can we have a vote?
Online voting is open. All votes are in, motion passes.
Thank you. Ms. Alderman.
This motion here is for approval, contract for the parking lot repairs and repavement services at Caledonia Elementary School. This is also from March the 10th, 2025, the board approved the facility master plan and adopted scenario number 5 for the school consolidation and renovations. I ask that the board approves
This resolution.
this resolution.
Second. Second. It's been moved.
Who second, please?
Right.
She said
Thank you.
Discussion. No discussion, can we have a vote, please?
Online voting is open. All votes are in, motion passes.
Thank you. Ms. Alderman.
This motion is approved, the contract for the sidewalk and repair and stair repair at Kirk Middle School. This is also brought up in front of the board on March the 10th, 2025, and has been adopted by scenario number 5. I ask the board that we approve this motion.
Can we have a second?
A second.
Been moved to second, discussion?
Yes, this too came in under budget or under what was,
Yes,
it did?
it did, yeah.
Because
So is this just for the, explain to me exactly what all that they're fixing besides the sidewalk and the stairs? What about the driveway?
3 sets of stairways.
Mhm.
And then, in the front, there's some sidewalk blocks that are all cracked up and problematic. So they're fixing all of the concrete. We did a couple years ago, we did one stairway. But now we're coming back because we're moving additional students in that building. We need to make sure.
Is this in front of the school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
What about the road right there going into the school for the,
You talking about from Karis?
right?
Road is not ours, but, we cut that.
Parking lot or anything like?
The parking lot
The parking
is.
lot, right, because the parking lot is really, man-holy.
Mhm, mhm.
So
Um,
does this,
This has nothing to do with that.
Nothing.
We're operating in scenario 5 right now. I can look to see where that fits, but we're doing the timeline that the board set on scenario 5. And these concrete pieces, we've been waiting for the spring to come so we can take care of this. But that's not, what you're referencing is not a part of this particular resolution.
I just feel like that number is mighty high.
This is the most responsible and a vendor. This one, we actually did have 3 quotes, and this was the lowest quote and the most responsible quote for this concrete work.
So I have a question on that as well. Is there a way that we as the board can look at these contracts or look at these quotes?
That would be management. And this is the purpose of the superintendent in my office, is to make sure that when we bring it to you, we are bringing you the most responsible bids. There's board support that has set policy that guides our action.
Right, so that's the board policy, that we can put into amendment to have a resolution changed on that. To see about changing that board policy from so long ago that we are.
It's not so
board,
long
and we can
ago.
look- We can look at that. How long ago has that been?
Within the last 3 or 4 years, under consultation of our attorneys.
Okay, Dr.
so
Wright was
what-
a part of that as well?
Our
I don't
attorneys.
remember.
Again,
4 years.
again, boards deal with governance.
I get it, I understand.
My staff and I deal with the management issues that you're referencing. So what the board has done is establish policies and purchasing policies on how we procure these type of items, and we follow the board policies before we bring them to you. So when they come to you, they are in accordance to what the board has set forth.
So this isn't something that we can look at in committee meetings or anything, right?
I mean, the board can look at anything they want to.
Okay.
So do we need to table this?
Well, let me advise you. August is coming. And if you table this, you will get at the end of anybody else's list of projects. And this may not happen before school starts. So if we table it,
Because people have
Yeah.
questions.
I understand, but if I understand that. If we table it, when we talked to Mr. Bunkley 2 weeks ago, we talked about those items that were weather dependent, and this was one. We've been waiting for the weather to break so we can do this. If we table it, it may impact the opening of school. I just need the board to understand the real repercussions or consequences of tabling an item that really has already been processed through by management.
I also still have a problem with that also, because again, I agree that we're taking over your position.
Correct.
We hired you to look into these things. And we're talking about, well, we're gonna take that power away from him? No, what are we tabling?
No, I don't think that that's the situation. We're not asking to take the power away from our superintendent. We're just asking to be more aware of some of the things that are going on with the costs that are coming out of our general budget. I don't think that that's wrong for us as a board to want to see or know more of these things that are going on before it comes just in front of our table for us to vote on it. That's one question that I was asking. I'm not asking for it to be tabled. I've already voted, but I'm just asking future references as we are going into more building repairs, that we actually are available to see, you know, the actual contracts that multiple vendors are bringing to us as a board to help make the decisions on what we're spending our general funds on.
I would say that is the work of the Buildings and Grounds Committee.
Yeah.
So when the
That's
Buildings
what I'm
and Grounds Committee works, that's those conversations that they work through. And when something comes out of that committee, it should be coming out, so that's committee
Bring
work.
it.
That's just committee work.
Ms. Witt, everyone's voting?
I have 5th vote just came in. All votes are in, motion passes.
Luciano?
Okay, and the last one, not least, is the motion to approve the contract for the hot water system replacement at Prospect Administrative Building. This was also brought to the board March 10th, 2025, as the adopted scenario for phase 5. I ask that the board approve the motion for the hot water system for the Prospect and Administrative Building. Can I get a second?
Second. Move to second. Discussion? No discussion? Any other vote?
I have a question. That's the water system at Prospect?
Yes.
Can you tell a little bit what, you know?
It's end of life.
No, you move too fast. That's, is that end of life?
Yes, just like at home, the hot water tank is only supposed to last so long.
Uh-huh.
We're at the end of life according to our consultant.
Mhm.
So we need to replace that, and by replacing that, you also have to replace the fuel gas piping, the connections, the flue. There's associated parts that go with the entire hot water system. So essentially, this building needs that system in place.
Thank you for the explanation.
You got it.
All votes are in, motion passes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ms. Elmore.
You're welcome, my pleasure.
Okay. We are next going on to reports.
I'm
sorry? Can I move on?
Yes,
Thank you.
she wanted to make sure that her vote.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, reports of education. Resolution to approve a contract with and payment to Heart Media for marketing and promotional services. I move that we accept this resolution. Is there a second?
A second.
Questions?
Yes. So we're gonna spend this dollar amount, $50,000 for promotional event activities. I think this is something that the board needs to discuss further.
Want to give us some more discussion on that? Dr.
Well,
Pepper?
I have a question.
We haven't answered hers.
Oh, sorry.
Let's get to
What was it?
hers.
What was the question?
She feels $50,000 on
I
Heart
feel
Media
the board
is
needs
too
to
much.
talk about this amongst ourselves further. Have a discussion about it.
We can discuss it. I discussed it with you already. Yeah. The
That's
dollar
okay with the
figure
board.
is too high, she feels. Anybody else in agreement with that?
It depends. My question, to go with Shireen's, is we have two,
Correct.
marketing
Mhm.
that would love to do business. One is for 155,000, one is for 50,000.
Yeah.
Why can't we pick one and do business with one? What is the difference between the two? And I understand, trust me, I get, the iHeartRadio and I also get the Urban One, okay? But for Urban One to be $155,000 only for April through December,
Mhm.
that's a lot.
So
So please explain.
I'm gonna say this, because the tone is every dollar amount that we look at, we need to scrutinize. So first, Tom, can I have you talk a little bit about enrollment? Because the whole point of these things is to attract more people to come to this school district.
That's correct.
And it costs money to market and promote people to come into this district. So I'm gonna ask Tom to talk about what the enrollment looked like, because we've been using both companies for the last 3 or 4 years. And part of our success and part of our able to recruit and get some of the students was because we have this presence. And the other thing I want to say is these numbers pale in comparison to what North Shore is running right now on these same platforms. Cleveland Municipal, T2 Honors. If you open up your phone right now and go on social media, you scroll for a second, you're going to see them there. We're not there. So these are contracts to get us into the marketplace where our students and our parents are making decisions about schools where we don't live. We're not in those spaces right now because this is sitting here for discussion. But Tom, I would like you to talk just a little bit about enrollment and give us a little bit about the enrollment, the retention, the data that we looked at prior to this conversation.
Sure, thank you. So I did some snapshot looks going through the 25-26 school year, going back to July 1. Traditionally, what has been happening, we've seen declining enrollment in this district for the last 10 years. So we've put through aggressive marketing campaigns with work through both iHeart and Radio One in order to be able to build brand presence and also to be able to specifically market for successful programs or programs of interest within the district. CTE at Shaw, marching band, athletics, Superior School for the Performing Arts, March to Kindergarten, preschool registration. So two things kind of happening at one time. What happens with enrollment generally is we graduate out 100 to 125 students, we don't bring back in 100 to 125 kindergartners. So we're looking to try and constantly swing up through other grade levels to be able to even out what our values are at this point. From July 1, 25 through the end of March, we are net plus 10 students at this point, okay? With the majority of our students transitioning in and out between July and August. We've always been kind of running at about even in terms of this, drawing in more students at preschool, kindergarten, and drawing a lot more students at 9th grade and 10th grade than at other grade levels at this point. My contention truly is, if we are not committing to marketing efforts like this, we would not be able to stand pace.
Right.
Given closings in school districts, CMSD, where you've got students that are moving around, a lot more student choice. And Henry is exactly right. We're not occupying the same social media and marketing footprint as a North Shore or other public charter schools in the area. I really would be fearful that our enrollment would drop significantly if we didn't commit these kind of dollars to this. We transfer a lot of students back and forth between Cleveland Metropolitan. And I think what's lost is that they are still the second largest school district, not urban, just second largest school district in the state of Ohio, and they are right across our border. And given our mobility rate and our poverty rates in this district, where folks are constantly churning in and out, that movement across the border where they're coming from or going to East Cleveland is a reality for students. I will quell with this, we are not getting beat by any one particular charter. We are getting beat by charters more in general than anything else. But our biggest churn factor still is Cleveland Metropolitan, based on sheer size and based on tradition at that point. I can entertain some additional information if needed, but given this data and this information and saying that we're still plus 10 at this point in the school year, I don't think we would be here without this kind of marketing effort.
Oh, I understand, and I thank you for breaking that down. And I say before I conclude to you, Shereen, is that I do understand that we will use this for enrollment purposes and just to enlighten what we have going on in our district. We have a lot of positive things going on in our district and at our school. Shaw has a lot of technical programs that a lot of people don't know that we even offer. That's one thing. And I believe that marketing, the right marketing tools will definitely highlight that for our district, for our schools, that we have to bring in those CMSD students that are leaving Cleveland Public Schools because their schools are closing and the parents are looking for somewhere to place their students. So with the right marketing and the right tools, we can bring our enrollment up with that just as well. So I'm gonna end that and open the floor to you, Ms. Shereen.
Okay, so my question is, do you have the statistics on if we agree to this, that it will actually, has it shown you exactly how many students can possibly join with running these promotional services? Did your statistics or your AI or any of that show what could be the possibility of how many students can actually enroll by using this promotional service and marketing tools?
If there was no school choice, if there was no ed choice, we lose about 200 students to ed choice right now, primarily in grades K through 8. And we lose over 500 students to enroll in public charter schools around the state of Ohio. Everything from North Shore, T2, Citizens Academy, to online schools at that point. And then we gave back any of the students that chose to open and enroll here into the district from Cleveland Metropolitan or from other neighboring communities. We've got a couple kids from Cleveland Heights, a couple kids from Euclid. We'd be net 300.
Okay, so I guess let me ask this. Are we able to measure the success of it once it's ran, once it's done? Are we able to measure
let me answer that.
how many kids actually enrolled from
Yes.
this marketing campaign?
So what we did at the time, we made the adjustment in the registration office. That we're now tracking everyone that comes through the door.
Right.
Because that was one of the things that we went to these companies about and saying, well, hey, you gotta tell us how many kids you got us. And they started talking about how
That's all I'm
complicated it is and all of
We
that.
need to know the number.
So what we did is we said, well, on our application process, we're gonna make sure we're asking those conversations,
questions.
making sure we're tracking that data. So at the end of this, we're gonna come back and say,
Even if
well,
they scan the QR code,
Yes.
we'll know, okay, they came
Yes.
from Urban Radio.
Yes.
Okay, this team
Yes.
came from iHeartMedia.
because they're doing two different things. One is on the radio, then one is doing all of that social media, getting on, when you watch Pluto, when you watch YouTube and the commercials. So they're doing two discrete, so we can ask, did you hear about this from social media or did you hear about this riding in your car? And from that, we can tell you,
So we'll see
Yeah,
which
we
one
can
worked
have
and which
some
one
data on
didn't
that.
work.
yeah.
And then we can say,
'Cause that's-
okay,
that
we'll
was
just
my
spend this
question, too.
50,000 again, we
Because-
can just spend.
And
on
these
here,
numbers are
this
less
number.
than what we spent last year and the year before. So I've dropped the numbers down, just trying to get to the nitty gritty. And but I realize also between June and August is our window where everybody's making decisions about school. And we've recorded a lot of footage that we're ready to put on these platforms. The CTE, they did an event not too long ago. They recorded a bunch of stuff. April 25th, we're gonna record a bunch of stuff. So we're trying to make sure we capture all of this footage so that when we rolling it out over summer, we're actually getting students and having them come through. And our measure to check is when they come through enrollment, how did you hear about us? Which way did you get our attention? So we can try to bring back that number as well. But then also in these numbers, I want to let y'all know, there are a percentage of students who have determined on their own that East Cleveland is not the place for them, if I can say it that way.
Right.
So we also help transition students to a different location. So some of the numbers of folks leaving is people that are leaving because they can't be successful here. And we understand that, but we want to get you off our books, to be honest with you.
Right.
If that's going to be the case, we sit down with you and your mom and we help you find the appropriate place based on your deficiency or based on where you are. So that's also in the numbers. So it's not sheer trying to run the numbers up, get as many kids as we can. We're trying to make sure we get students that can be successful also in our system. So it's just complicated.
What is the plus 10 that you were saying? You said that several times.
If we total the number of students that have enrolled from July 1 to March 31,
Yes.
and then we total the number of students who have withdrawn from July 1 to March 31, we are 10 to the good. We have 10 more enrollees than we do withdrawals.
What's the
It's
per
10
pupil amount?
505 and 495 right now.
10 more enrollees rather than,
We've enrolled 505 students since July 1st. We've withdrawn 495 since July 1st.
okay. How does the numbers that you have like this April compare with the numbers for last April? Just curious.
I need to draw back where we were last year to give you a plus minus at that point.
Todd, can you just draw the month to month for the whole school year?
Sure.
And then we can forward that to the board.
Oh, that would be absolutely
be
wonderful.
nice.
Thank you.
No,
That would be great.
you got it.
Now, believe it or not, but I also had this discussion because I thought that this price was a little bit high too, so he had to go into detail with me too. And my problem with that is, how much money do we put out for advertising? How much have we got in the general fund for that?
Diane?
So,
She really, until by the look on her face.
I'm just trying to think in my head what we do. Like Dr. Pettigrew said, all of the advertising is coming through that department. They make those decisions. We look at our budget to make certain that we can accommodate those contracts if it's for that good purpose. For example, if we said at the beginning of the year for advertising, we're going to put $20,000 because we look back over our 3-year average, which we have done, which we always do. We look back over a 3-year average to look at what we spent, and then we look at what we want to do this year, and we put those projections out there. So I would say that this year, and I can get that information to the board. I don't want to put a number out there and then the board says, well, you said, so I would rather be more accurate with that and send that information to the board about what it looked like over the past 3 years, where that budget is this year, so that you can see the comparison over the last 3 years and what we're spending this year. So I will get that information to the board.
I'd appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
My second thing was that I know that we don't have a lot of kids coming here because of transportation. And I guess I was looking at, I'm thinking $151
Mhm.
on a radio program to advertise. Well, why can't we spend that on a bus to pick these kids up, especially
The
with
problem
Cleveland's
is,
closed?
we have the buses, it's the drivers.
Oh,
So
We
you have
need
to,
staff.
you have to
We need
convince the
people.
drivers to come here. And most times that means you have to up the price or give signing bonuses because everyone in the state is trying to find drivers. So then we get bumped up against that same problem. Like we bought brand new buses 5 years ago or so, but we need more drivers.
and that may be something too that the board needs to look into, because when I would go out, that's what the people would tell me. You're too far. I don't live close enough. I can't get there. It's cold outside. It's raining outside. I'm not sending my kids. So those were my two questions: transportation and.
Yeah,
how much
but we're
money we
hiring
have.
bus drivers, those of you listening in the public, anybody know somebody with a CDL that want to work in East Cleveland, we glad to have you. Please reach out to us, go on eastclevelandschools.
But would we go out of the district to pick them up?
That's a cost, that is an extra cost that the board would have to incur. Most boards do not do that, go outside of the school, the district radius. Because if you do that, you're going to bus everyone. And then it goes back to the problem of buses and drivers. So we keep going back to the same problem. There's not enough people to move the number of children that everyone has. I don't know if any of you've seen, there have been districts that have closed because when the bus drivers are off or not enough bus drivers come to work, they have to close the whole district. So this is an issue that's not unique to East Cleveland.
Okay.
Maybe we could partner with Tri-C and their CDL program.
Sound like a,
Need to do something.
sound like a plan.
Okay, with that. I
Online voting
that was
is open.
discussion,
That was
right?
A, yeah, we're still in A.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, ready to vote? That was
It's
discussion.
open. All votes are in, motion passes.
Thank you. Resolution B, resolution authorizing a partnership agreement between East Cleveland City Schools and Urban One Cleveland for marketing and community engagement services. I move that we pass this resolution. Can I have a second?
I second.
Discussion.
This is,
You already had it. This is B.
yeah, this is B
Yeah.
for 155,000, right?
Yeah, we,
Dr. Pettigrew.
Yeah.
Question, does that include like the signs that are out there as well between these two
The
companies?
signs,
Yeah, the yard
the
signs.
yard, no, we do our own yards.
You do your own yard signs right here in the district?
No, there's a company that, one of our vendors does them. We design them and then we send them out to get printed.
Okay, and I noticed that, gotten, several pieces in the mail as well.
Mhm.
Same
Same
thing, that's
process, yeah,
in-house.
that's in-house. We design it. I'm usually writing copy on most of that stuff, with the communications folks. And then once it's designed, we send it out.
Okay, so that's a different company altogether than these two.
And that's who does all of the signs for the athletics and
Mhm.
any of those needs that we need to get produced. We do have a company that does that. I would say that this one also includes a quarterly forum. So this one actually 4 times a year we'll be able to use, with the strength of urban radio, we'll have a community forum. So this will tie nicely into our data and engaging with our community and making sure that we bring folks out and have conversations about where we're going. Just making sure we're transparent.
Are we doing any billboards?
yeah.
That's another one that y'all will probably see next month. Lamar, we'll probably be doing some billboards as well, to attract folks over the summer. Yeah, so that's coming as well.
Nothing else? No more discussion? Vote, please.
All votes are in, motion passes.
Thank you. And the last resolution, Resolution C. Resolution to accept the Healthcare Process Consulting Incorporated Service Area Agreement. I move that we pass this resolution. May I have a second?
A second.
Who's second, please?
I did.
Thank you.
Discussion.
Dr. Carter, can you explain some of this? I don't,
So this is a yearly one. We do this one every year. And this is the company that helps us manage the Medicaid reimbursement,
oh,
that process, yeah. So it's a somewhat sticky process and companies help us navigate that, getting those monies and reimbursement.
And we are required by law to have an accounting firm, a CPA firm, to review that work before it goes up to the state. So it's state law that we have to have a CPA firm to review that
And that's-
information.
and this is the firm that we use for
We've
that.
been using HPC, yes.
Mhm.
Call for the vote.
All votes are in, motion passes.
And with that, that concludes the education report. Next, report will be buildings and grounds.
No,
Finance committee.
the finance committee is next.
Oh, yeah. This is in here. Oh, I hope I can turn some pages. Okay, finance committee.
Madam President,
Mhm.
I motion to accept the East Cleveland City School District monthly financial report for February 2026.
Is there a second?
I second.
Discussion.
One second.
So, the report, was in the agenda. The only thing that I would, say about this report is on page 4. It says that revenue through February totaled 28,439,891, which is 8,847,088, or 23.7% lower than the amount collected last year. Please bear in mind, that's nothing but the advance. If the board remembers, we advanced all that money, at the end of the ESSER, that we had to advance to those funds, and then at the beginning of the year, those funds come back in. So all this is just again showing the difference between those two numbers. It was not revenue that we didn't receive, it was the advance money.
That was already, that was the question I ask every year.
Yep.
You know I'm about to ask.
Yes.
You don't have to jump ahead of me, that's fine.
And then, well, no, that's just,
Yeah, it's the same question.
right. Then the second one that I would, is on page 5. If we look at that one, no, I don't know if that's the one I wanted. Hold on one second. I want to see. Fiscal year-to-date general fund expenditures total $30,188,376 through February, which is $1,802,571, or 6.4% higher than the amount expended last year. As I told us last month, this is scenario 5. We are starting that work. These are the costs. We didn't have those costs last year. We're showing those costs that were approved by this board under scenario 5 this year. That's why we're seeing those expenditures higher.
Thank you for your explanation.
Mm-hmm.
So which thing? Yes?
One second.
Well, I haven't come to discussion.
Was this not inside of our financial forecast that you gave us?
I'm sorry?
Wasn't this inside of our financial forecast that you gave us?
No, this is just a monthly cash report of revenue that comes in and revenue that goes out on a monthly basis.
Gotcha.
The 5-year forecast is an annual report. But there is one other one that I would like to call to the board's attention, and that's on page 6 at the very bottom in that box, so I submit an estimate of what I'm saying that based on our budgets, based on what we talked about, these are the estimates that I'm saying that we will spend versus, versus the actual expenditure. And just to call to the board's attention, the total variance of 40,846, which is the current expenses versus the amount projected in the 5-year forecast, is equal to 0.1% of the total financial forecasted annual expenses. So what we projected, based on the budgets that we've submitted, based on the money that we said we're going to spend, we are 0.1% within that variance. Not 1%, 0.1. So 0.1%, which is absolutely excellent, that way that we are projecting and spending those dollars.
So the budget is accurate.
The budget is accurate. Yes, sir.
Mary, are you accepting this resolution?
Yes, I am. Thank you, Ms.
You're
Wood.
welcome.
Can I have a second?
A second.
Thank you. We've had discussion.
It's already been done. Online voting is open.
Okay. Ms. Fountain?
1 second. I have a question, back on page.
You guys tell me 1 second when I say discussion, because we already
I've
voted
never
what's
even-
going on.
I was still here, so I do have a right as a board member to still look over this.
You didn't hit yes?
No. I did not. On page 6, up here at the top of the blue box, when it says the unfavorable part, the taxes and state revenue and all that other stuff.
Where are you, please? Page 6?
Yes, at the top of the box, the blue box, the unfavorable compared to forecast.
Yes,
That's the in and out that you sort of.
that's the in and out, that's
All
it.
right.
But what you do is with that, you see that for the revenue, then you look at the expenditure, then you look at how are we really trending with revenue and expenditures, 0.1%.
Okay,
Okay,
all set.
all votes are in, motion passes.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ms. Mary.
Madam President,
Yes.
resolution to enter into an agreement with Frontline Education to provide license, analysis and forecast comparison services for fiscal year 2026 through 2027.
So, I'm going to try and explain this one again. Because this is the one that, that I've been accused of outsourcing my work.
Oh, yes.
This is Frontline. What Frontline provides us with, if you'll look, they provide license to the software that they have. That software provides us with analysis and forecast comparison services, which means your treasurer and your accounts payable department enter information into the system. So every dollar that comes into this district, I receipt into USAS. That is our software program through Connect. Every payroll, goes through USPS, which is the payroll system that goes in through the payroll supervisor who enters that information. Accounts payable is through the accounts payable department through Ms. Logino, who is our accounts payable supervisor. Once all of that is done, I upload all of that information. Once I say to Frontline, we have finished entering everything for the month, I upload that information. That information is then analyze, and then they do the forecast comparisons to see what we just talked about in the monthly report. That's exactly what they do. I also explained to us that they allowed 5 spots because we go in there and we look at district trends from the state. We look at comparative districts to see how they're trending, how they're spending. They provide us with comparisons, with graphs, with charts, with information, with demographic information from a state perspective. Because that's all information that school district management uses as part of our decision-making processes. The question was asked last time, who has access? I said they allow up to 5 persons, but right now, myself, Dr. Pettigrew, and Tom Domzowski has access to that. But they allow up to 5 with this current license.
So payroll not using it?
Pardon me?
Payroll not using it?
Payroll can't use this. This is an analysis. USPS is the system that we use through our A-Site Connect, which is the state software to process payroll.
I was asking because you had mentioned payroll, that's all I was asking.
Right, that's why I said payroll uploads through USPS. USAS is what I use because that's receiving cash into our account. All of that information, I advise them. I say to Frontline, I send the email and I say, we have closed the month of March. Then all the information is uploaded and they analyze it for the month, which creates this report.
And that may come a month later, right?
That's exactly why. Because right now, we're in the month of April, and all of this data has to be analyzed through their software. They're looking at the comparisons. They're letting us know, here's what's happening with the information that you provided for us. This is what that looks like. The inputting of the information is from district personnel. We do the work, they do the analysis.
Very, very good.
Thank you, Ms. Lubin.
I'm sorry?
Questions?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
About a vote. I mean.
No, questions.
So-
I need her.
So what we're doing now is renewing their contract for next year. Budget, management analysis subscription, the amount, comparative analysis subscription, the amount, financial planning analytics subscription, and the amount. And usage, here's again, usage of all subscriptions up to 5 employees. It's the same thing that we've been doing with Frontline for at least the past 5 years, since I have been here. And again, I think that one of the questions you asked, Dr. Rice, before, this was Forecast 5.
Mhm.
And now they changed to Forecast 5 was brought up by Frontline,
Mhm.
and now it's Frontline. Not only do I use it, but also
Many
Human
districts.
Resources uses this for absence reporting. So this is the same company that we've been using to process that data.
Mhm.
So we're just asking for the contract to be approved.
Mary, are we passing this resolution?
I think so, we need it.
Can I have a second? Thank you. Discussion.
Yes. So we're paying $27,575.74 for them to do our analytics. Am I correct?
They do our analytics,
Mm-hmm.
they do our comparative analysis,
Right.
they do our financial planning, and they give us access up to 5 people with all
With
of the
that software.
software.
Mhm.
They give us access up to 5 people for all of the demographic information that we use, for all of the school district information that we may maybe doing those comparative analysis for the 803 or 810 school districts within the state of Ohio. So all of that information is at our disposal.
Yes. So here again, so they do our analytics as well as the planning, financial planning.
They don't do,
And they
fi-
give
they
us a
don't do
report
our
on that.
financial
And
planning.
they give us the report you just showed us.
They don't do our financial planning. It says financial planning analytics.
Yes,
We
analytics.
do the planning.
Uh-huh.
They do the analytics.
Analytics, right. And that's what I said before, the analytics.
I'm not going to go back and
Keep
forth
debating that.
We
about
shouldn't.
that.
We
I'm not
did
gonna do
it
that.
last time.
We're saying the same
I'm not-
thing.
I'm
You're
not
saying they do the
No.
analytics, I'm saying they do the analytics. What are we saying the
Ms.
same thing?
Witt,
Thank you.
how long have you used this company?
Not under the same name, but I'm gonna say for 15 years, because I used them in Cincinnati. I used them in Trotwood Madison. I
And you've been
used them
using
in
since you've been in
Xenia.
this district, right?
Pardon me?
And you've been using them since you've been in this district, right?
And I've been using them since I've been here.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you meet Megan that was at the class, the finance class?
I did.
With Frontline?
I did.
That was sitting right next to
I
you?
did, yes, they was
Yeah.
talking to you, showing the computer, showing the
Yes.
computer and stuff, yes.
And I'm sorry, I missed who seconded. That was you, Miss
I
Mine.
seconded.
Thank you.
And that was discussion. Okay, vote please.
All votes are in, motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Madam President, that concludes the finance committee.
Thank you very much. Good being on with you. Next on our agenda will be the executive meeting. We're gonna have to ask you good people to leave us.
You gotta
We
make
have
the
some other
motion.
stuff that has to be done.
Oh, that's right.
Welfare and public relations.
Well, we didn't put that until afterwards.
It's on here,
It's on there.
it's next,
Okay, it came up next
reports
on
of welfare and public
See, don't be
relations.
sneaking stuff. Okay, welfare and public relations will be next. And since I did that meeting, I guess I'll be welfare and public relations.
Oh, I'm over that committee now too, right? I'm in this new committee, this public committee.
Yeah, but I
That's
was
what
at
it
the
is.
meeting
Mhm.
Oh, okay, I was
Yeah,
in,
I met
I
with,
read it all,
there
okay.
too for a while. So, yeah, you did come in the beginning, but yeah, I met with, Ms. Witt and Ms. Elder on this, in the future, though, you will be doing it.
Okay.
Okay. We had a professional leave, that we did approve, that was Dr. Rice, who went on professional leave. And although it's late, I move that we accept that resolution. Can I have a second
A second.
discussion? Vote, please.
Online voting is open. All votes are in, motion passes.
Thank you. The second resolution, we had altogether about 8 different policies. There were a couple that we still had to turn back to Evelyn Wagner. Resolution to amend and adopt board policies. Policies 103, a copy of formulation amendment, dissemination and update of the policies. Board policy 1.15, copy of Board of Education meeting, PDF. Board policy 2.09, it was a new one, severance pay for the administrations. Board policy 6.09, Copy of student and absenteeism and excuses. Board policy 6.66, and then I see 6.68 will replace 6.66. Copy of article intelligence, EDIL. And board policy 9.10, copy of complaints of sex discrimination and sex-based harassment. And then I can't see this last one, I don't know why my computer won't go up.
May I read it for you?
Please.
Board policy 7.37, which is new, name, image, and likeness, in brackets NIL, personal branding rights. That was related to students.
Okay. Like I said, these were sent to us from Pebble and Wagner, where they had reviewed them. We then reviewed them in Public Welfare Committee. I move that we accept all of these policies.
I second.
Then move to second discussion.
I actually would like more time to look through some of these. If it pleases the board. There was one that I wanted to bring up in session about.
While she's reading hers, bring it up.
That she, no, she's gonna, I think she wanted to table this, right,
Yes.
so that she can really take a look at it.
Oh, no. Our attorney has already approved this, and then they brought it to us to relook at it. And if you see something at this point that there's a problem, we need to bring it up now. I don't want to table it.
So President, when we were in our session, we talked about the students and absences, and their excuses. And we talked about a mental health day, being talked about. Was that brought up to our attorney about adding a mental health day for our students being able to take a mental health day, because there's a lot going on out here in the world, and sometimes these students need a mental health day the same way as we do.
If I'm not mistaken, we mentioned that and it was denied. We voted on it and said that that wasn't something that we would give them a mental health day for. I don't know who I met with. I met with someone on that for a mental health day. And we were saying there's sick days within their contract that they are allowed to take. You can take a sick day at any time. You call it a mental health day or whatever. We don't ask for an excuse unless you're out those 7 days. Then we ask for an excuse, but that would be allowed.
Okay. I just wondered if that was brought up or not.
Yes.
Was, okay, just was. 6.0, no, was that 6.09? You guys struck out F, religious holidays and activities consistent with the truly held religious beliefs of the child or his or her family.
That was
That
greatly
is no
discussed.
longer, that's no longer, we took that completely out.
Yeah, right. No. What did we decide on
We
that?
did not strike that out. The strikeouts are what Pepper and Wagner, based on state law, they did the strikeouts.
Okay.
I believe they took F and N, I think is counts for
Replace
F, yeah, I think if I'm reading it correct. The religious expression days.
Yeah.
They just changed
They
what they
changed.
call it.
Okay, they changed the verbiage.
We did not, the committee did not strike out anything. What the committee did was looked at the old version, if there was an old one, and then looked at the new version based on what Pepper and Wagner stated that state law is now providing for us to do. We had to look at that to see whether or not we agreed with that, or there was a concern that this committee had with that. That's what happens with the policy, that when it goes to all committees. If it's a committee that, has policies fall under it.
And if I'm not mistaken, there were 2 policies that were sent to us that we weren't sure of and we weren't completely on, so we are taking them back to Pepper and Wagner. These are the ones that we read, got approval from Pepper and Wagner, and we're in agreement. But the other ones we'll be bringing up at a later date once we get another response from Pepper and Wagner.
These were some very long page policies, and we walked through all of them.
Okay, I move that we pass this resolution.
But we've already done that, we're just waiting for discussion.
Oh, discussion. Well, we had that too.
Proceed.
Okay,
Online voting is open.
okay.
Dr. Wright,
I
your
just,
vote is in, all votes are in, motion passes.
thank you, and that concludes education.
Public welfare and public relations, that's what that
Oh,
committee
okay.
was.
Mhm. Okay, therefore we are now going on to executive session.
You need the motion first and the
I
second
make-
before they have to leave.
Oh, you don't have to leave till I make a motion, okay? She's looking at me like, no, I wanna go now. Okay. Motion to enter into executive session to consider the employment of public employees. Can I get a second?
Oh, I second.
Did you motion?
Yes, I did.
Thank you.
Roll call.
Any discussion?
Any discussion about that? Going into executive session? No.
Online voting is open.
Thank you, madam.
All votes are in, motion passes.
Well, we're now going